coming up this week on University Report. We'll take you to Tuesday's protests on the East Bank campus as pro-Palestine encampments spread to the University of Minnesota. Construction is throwing off local artists' summer plans. And what you need to know about the avian flu.
Are we worried about Minnesota? Of course, absolutely. I'd be surprised if it's not here already.
Finally, we'll have the 5-day forecast for you. These stories and more on University Report. Good morning, I'm Pooja Singh. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Grace Henry. We begin this morning with the latest on pro-Palestine protests across the country, including here at the University of Minnesota. Sophia Jackson is live outside Northrop Auditorium, where students camped earlier this week with an update. Sophia?
Since Tuesday, there have been a lot of marches, gatherings, and brief encampments around campus. In response, 2 local Jewish groups are holding a press conference later this afternoon at 1 p.m. Wednesday, there was what protesters call a die-in demonstration at Coffin Memorial Union. Yesterday, protesters also gathered for a march outside of Coffin Memorial Union and marched to McNamara Alumni Center, where protests and demonstrations went on into the night. This morning, we took a look, and as you can see, it's windy, there's rain, so possibly there's not much going on, in part due to the weather conditions we have going on. That's all we have for now, Grace.
Thanks, Sophia. On Tuesday afternoon, after the arrest of those 9 protesters, a larger crowd gathered outside Coffman Memorial Union. I was there to talk to people about what brought them out.
From Minnesota to Palestine, resistance is justified.
Hundreds of people gathered in front of Kaufman Memorial Union on Tuesday in support of the 8 students and 1 employee who were arrested earlier in the day.
This morning I saw what was going on with the students being arrested and just felt the need to be here to lend our voice and our support to the students and everybody standing up for the people of Palestine.
This comes as thousands of other students on college campuses across the country protest by setting up encampments on their college campuses. At Columbia University, hundreds have been arrested over the last week.
Students are coming out, especially as the weather is getting nicer, and saying that we do not support this genocide. We do not want our universities funding these, genocides.
Student organizations must acquire a permit to set up tents on campus. These students did not have a permit and were arrested for trespassing. Protesters expressed anger and said the students were protesting peacefully and should not have been arrested.
When we give unconditional support to the Palestinian people, what we're given is arrests.
Divest UMN said in a social media post on Tuesday the students were not going to leave the encampment until the University of Minnesota met all their demands, including to divest from certain companies, to ban companies that do business with Israel from recruiting on campus, and to be transparent about their spending. Protesters at the Tuesday afternoon protest emphasized the arrested students' demands.
There needs to be, occupations on all of these campuses that actually threaten the profits of the universities.
Do everything you can to get your money out of war.
Many people expressed pride in the arrested students.
Very proud of them, that's how I feel. We all have to stand up.
I think it's really brave of those students to risk everything and recognizing that it's not risking everything, it's risking a very small amount compared to what people in Palestine are risking every day.
That chant is one that some supporters of Israel consider anti-Semitic because it suggests that the Jewish state should be obliterated. Protesters insist they are not anti-Semitic, and there were Jewish protesters supporting the Palestinian cause on Tuesday. The 9 people were released from jail later that day.
Tomorrow is Independent Bookstore Day. It's an annual celebration on the last Saturday in April. There are plenty of bookshops around the Twin Cities to visit this rainy weekend, including some right on campus. One worth checking out is the Book House located off 4th Street in Dinkytown. It's been selling used books since 1976. The University of Minnesota bookstores are owned and operated by the U, making them independent shops as well. The used bookstores have been hosting events all week, including giveaways and activities. There are plenty of other indie bookstores around the Twin Cities to fit any reader's interest, whether you like romance, sci-fi, or mystery. There's a shop for you. Find them on our website at z.umn.edu/universityreport.
The intersection behind me is usually closed the first weekend of August for the Uptown Art Fair, but due to construction, plans have changed. Coming up, I have more information on what this means for people who are planning to be involved with the event.
What's the weather looking like this weekend? We have the 5-day forecast after this break.
Because it was there. Because determination overcame distance.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
Because the unsolvable was invitation enough. Why are we driven to discover? Because we can change the course of history. Because tomorrow's visionaries need focus today. At the University of Minnesota, with each student comes an opportunity to set their sights higher and to show them the way, so our graduates can shape the future and fulfill the dreams they haven't yet dreamt. Because renewable energy can sustain us all. Our students envision the sun powering homes on every block, wind-blown ideas launching entirely new economies, and fertile soils fueling cars and people alike, protecting the harmony between humanity and nature. Because self-expression can move 1,000 souls. Be it a song or a dance, a canvas or a poem, the arts are vital to the U of M experience, as are self-discovery and moments of sheer amazement. Because cancer can be conquered by targeting medicines, customizing treatments, and transplanting stem cells, incurable cancers can become survivable. Terminal can be redefined as treatable, and optimism can spread once again. Because human rights need champions. From classrooms in Minnesota to courtrooms in Uganda, assembling a collective voice for change allows dignity to return and extends human rights across the globe. Because clean water ensures quality of life. It's essential to the health of all nations, so we're studying models and molecules. We are committed to making clean water flow freely, from the headwaters of the Mississippi to the slums of Mumbai. We share the belief that anything is possible, because at the University of Minnesota, discoveries unfold, breakthroughs happen, and history is forever changed.
Organizers of the Uptown Art Fair announced the event is canceled this year. Anna Belden looked into why they decided to cancel it so close to the art festival season and what this means for those involved.
This year was supposed to be the 60th anniversary of one of Minnesota's biggest events, the Uptown Art Fair, but construction on Hennepin Avenue, an essential road for the festival, put a wrench in plans. Initially, Uptown Association, which organizes the fair, informed artists that the construction would only alter the fair's location and it would be condensed to the parkway called the Mall. The association kept applications open until March 15th and even went through a week-long jury process to determine which artists would be admitted. Just 2 weeks after the jury process, Uptown Association announced that this year's fair was canceled due to construction. The fair's director of operations, Jill Osiki, told me that Uptown Association thought keeping the same location of the fair was integral to tradition.
Our event is on one of the busiest intersections in the entire state of Minnesota, which is Lake and Hennepin. Without having the event there, which is the signature of the event, just didn't feel right.
Applying to art fairs usually costs $50 to $60 per application, so some artists are strategic with where they decide to apply. This way, they aren't spending money on an application for an event they can't work. Melissa Gust had a booth at the fair for the first time last year. She made more sales there than at any other summer art festivals she worked. Now that it's canceled, she doesn't have anything lined up to fill that gap.
The timing of all of this was really unfortunate because the day they let the public know was the day they let the artists know. But the applications for every other art fair already closed.
Osiki admitted the association had known about the construction plan for years, but did not realize the scope of the construction zone was so large until seeing it in person.
Maybe at some point we buried our head in the sand a little bit and was just hoping for the best, but then you just couldn't ignore how bad it was going to be.
They said they had a plan, it fell through, but I don't think they wanted to admit it to us until they exhausted all the options, but we weren't aware that was still not set in stone. So I think that's the thing, is we were missing that transparency.
While the traditional art fair is canceled for this year, Uptown Association announced the Uptown Art Experience, which plans to include smaller pop-up events spanning the whole summer. Anna Belden, UReport.
If you're looking for an art festival in the meantime, the first ever Sculpture Garden Art Fair is in 2 weeks and will feature over 100 artist booths.
Well, the weather this weekend wouldn't be ideal for an art fair. Like you saw outside on campus with Sophia, this morning is rainy and there's no hope of sunshine in the days ahead. Anna Belden is here to talk weather. Anna, how's this weekend looking?
Hi, Grace. Well, I hope you've got some boots and an umbrella because there's going to be lots of rainy days coming up. The past week was a nice break from any snow or serious storms with a little rain on Tuesday. But in between the clouds, there was some sunshine. Unfortunately, that break is over starting today. Here's what to expect for the next 5 days. Today's high will be 57 degrees with a 90% chance of rain into the night through Saturday morning. Showers will be more intermittent starting Saturday afternoon with a 55% chance of rain. Sunday is a little cooler than Saturday with a high of 57 degrees. And the rain won't be over yet with an 80% chance all day Sunday and thunderstorms into the night. Monday should be the end of the drizzly 4-day run with a 64% chance of steady rain in the morning and then possible showers continuing in the afternoon. Finally, on Tuesday, we're going to get some sunshine with mostly sunny skies and a high of 73 degrees. The rest of the week is looking like it'll only get warmer, so we just have to brave the storm before those nice late spring temperatures arrive.
Well, let's hope these April showers actually bring May flowers. Thanks, Anna. The avian flu is spreading fast, and now it is affecting dairy cows. Sabrina Salguero del Cid talked to university experts about the virus and whether it could reach Minnesota.
The avian flu has been a growing issue in cattle farms across the U.S.
Are we worried about Minnesota? Of course, absolutely. I'd be surprised if it's not here already.
H5N1 is a highly contagious influenza virus found mainly in wild birds. The U.S. Department of Agriculture confirmed that bird flu can now spread from cow to cow. In the last month, more than 8 states confirmed positive cases in dairy milking cattle.
We never know what flu is going to do. The more it circulates, it can change.
One issue with the current outbreaks is that there is not enough evidence to show how it spreads from wild birds to cows.
How can you best help the cow? How can you reduce spread?
University experts say the USDA has not released a detailed plan for what farmers should do if a cow tests positive for the avian flu, which creates a problem for dairy farms to report cases.
So there's no real incentive for a dairy to report a problem. So they are not. And so we might have it here in Minnesota and we'd never know, and that's a big issue.
Experts say the avian flu reaching dairy cattle can have economic impacts, affecting cows' milk production and therefore the farm's business. But as of right now, it is not affecting the supply or the industry.
We need to be preparing for it to be a big deal. And then if it's not, be wonderfully surprised.
The future of the virus in Minnesota and its impact is still unclear.
I think that just also creates a lot of uncertainty for us, for myself as a researcher, just hoping that maybe there'll be some more answers.
The University of Minnesota is taking preventative measures to reduce the chance of livestock on campus getting infected. Sabrina Salguero-Delcid, University Report.
Experts recommend people avoid drinking raw milk. Pasteurization so far seems to keep milk safe even from this flu. The USDA updates information daily about the avian flu. You can find the link on our website, z.umn.edu/university report.
Navigating the tunnels on campus could soon get easier. Up next, I'll give you a sneak peek into the new app designed by students aimed at simplifying your underground travels.
We're all about water in Minnesota. I've been here approaching 50 years. Originally, the biggest problem we had is the algae bloom from the sewage in the lake. And now we got the zebra mussels, and that's been a major negative.
Zebra mussels are an aquatic invasive species. They impact the food webs within lakes, which impact fish populations, growth, occurrence, and especially in Minnesota, where so much of our recreation is lake-based, that impacts those local businesses, different tourism around the state. Zebra mussels were first found in the Great Lakes back in 1986, and since then they have spread throughout much of Minnesota. People love clear water, but that's not necessarily good. That means that conditions are different for the plants, for the fish, for everything in the lake. This project out on Lake Minnetonka is looking at a copper-based product called EarthTech QZ. We are hoping that this will give us ideally some solutions for controlling zebra mussel populations. This project is largely a partnership between the University of Minnesota, specifically MASERC, the Minnesota Aquatic Invasive Species Research Center, and the U.S. Geological Survey.
It is very much a team effort. Even the marina owner that has graciously allowed us to use their area for staging our equipment and supplies. So without the cooperation of all those different partners, it would be impossible to do a study of this nature.
There are a lot of infrastructure and businesses existing relying on the lake. It's not only the marinas, it's everybody around Lake Minnetonka will suffer subsequently.
Well, the zebra mussels over on the east end of the lake make it clear. It looks like an aquarium over there. So during the daytime, it's kind of tough to fish.
Zebra mussels affect our boats by getting in the motors. They affect the beaches. They get on the rocks. People step on them, cut their feet. So it just makes it less desirable to use the lake. And as a business that's in a lake community, that affects us.
This project is specific to Lake Minnetonka, but we're hoping that this type of treatment will be able to be repeated on different lakes. The University of Minnesota's Aquatic Invasive Species Research Center is one of a kind. It's the only one like it in the country. And the work that we're doing is protecting Minnesota's lakes.
The University of Minnesota is absolutely essential in this matter. And it's a profoundly positive experience for us to be part of it.
Navigating the extensive tunnel system on campus might get easier this summer. The university's App Developers Club newest project is an app to guide people through the Gopher Ways tunnels. I met with the club for a little sneak peek. The university's tunnel system, Gopher Way, dates back to the 1920s. Expanding through decades, the system now serves as a vital yet complex part of campus life.
I feel like I hear the most hype about the tunnels, but the least amount of way to get through them.
The proposed interactive map aims to simplify the East, West, and St. Paul campus tunnels.
The maps look overwhelmingly too confusing, so oftentimes I skip it and I decide I can just walk outside.
Recognizing the conflict as an international student from Brazil, Victor Hofstadter and the App Developers Club decided to create a solution.
I think Gopher Tunnels is sort of trying to bridge that gap where people can look up locations just like they do in Google Maps, but instead of getting a route that's for most people, it will actually give you a tailored route through the tunnels.
The team is addressing critical issues such as cell signal, time efficiency, and route accuracy. The club hosts workshops at its weekly meetings to equip members, new and old, with the necessary skills for the app's development.
The big idea of this project was we want this to be open collaboration so anyone could join. That way it just allows everyone to be able to just hop on and just work on the product.
With a launch planned by the beginning of summer, Victor and fellow club members are eager for community feedback to refine the app, ensuring it meets the needs of users and leaves them thinking.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm fine with the path that this app has shown me, and I'm good, and I want to start my journey.
The club will start external testing in the next coming weeks and welcomes individuals to provide feedback leading up to the launch by reaching out through email or connecting on social media. Their platforms can be found on our website at z.umn.edu/universityreport.
The end of this semester is fast approaching. Monday is the last day of classes and finals start Thursday, May 2nd. Final exam schedules are available on one-stop commencement ceremonies are coming up. 2. CLA ceremonies will be held Sunday, May 12th. You can find more information on the CLA website.
And coming up, we'll show you how Swifties in the cities celebrated the release of Taylor Swift's record-breaking album.
Because it was there. Because determination overcame distance.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
Because the unsolvable was invitation enough. Why are we driven to discover? Because we can change the course of history. Because tomorrow's visionaries need focus today. At the University of Minnesota, with each student comes an opportunity to set their sights higher and to show them the way, so our graduates can shape the future and fulfill the dreams they haven't yet dreamt. Because renewable energy can sustain us all. Our students envision the sun powering homes on every block, wind-blown ideas launching entirely new economies, and fertile soils fueling cars and people alike, protecting the harmony between humanity and nature. Because self-expression can move 1,000 souls. Be it a song or a dance, a canvas or a poem, the arts are vital to the U of M experience, as are self-discovery and moments of sheer amazement. Because cancer can be conquered by targeting medicines, customizing treatments, and transplanting stem cells, incurable cancers can become survivable. Terminal can be redefined as treatable, and optimism can spread once again. Because human rights need champions. From classrooms in Minnesota to courtrooms in Uganda, assembling a collective voice for change allows dignity to return and extends human rights across the globe. Because clean water ensures quality of life. It's essential to the health of all nations, so we're studying models and molecules. We are committed to making clean water flow freely, from the headwaters of the Mississippi to the slums of Mumbai. We share the belief that anything is possible, because at the University of Minnesota, discoveries unfold breakthroughs happen, and history is forever changed.
It's been 1 week since Taylor Swift released her 11th album, and it immediately broke records on Spotify as the most streamed album in 24 hours. Sophia Jackson caught up with some fans at Walter Library.
Channeling the dark academia theme of the album, the Arthur Upson Room transformed into Swiftie headquarters to celebrate the release of Taylor Swift's album, The Tortured Poets Department. Dressed in album-themed cardigans and Eras Tour sweatshirts to make beaded bracelets, and blackout poetry.
Moment I Met You, Frozen Forever.
U of M Swifties took a break from studying to unite with other fans. Swift released a total of 31 songs, 15 of them dropped at 2 a.m., making for a double album. For many, the study break wasn't their first time listening to the tracks.
Me and one of my friends actually stayed up to like 3:30 listening to it, trying to decode and stuff like that, and see what is so special about the other 15 songs.
With an entirely unexpected second collection of songs, some fans have yet to solidify their favorites.
The one that I was most excited for was I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, and I really am like happy with, I love it, and so it's probably not set in stone yet, but that's I'm gonna go with that for now.
Despite uncertainty surrounding favorite songs, Swiftie love for the singer-songwriter remains strong.
I love you, Taylor Swift. But no, it's been great just kind of having a bunch of Swiftie friends lately, and just having just this community here and stuff like that has been really, really cool.
I hope that she keeps writing and making music because it makes me really happy.
Swifties are heading into final season with a new study playlist. Sophia Jackson, University Report.
If you missed the study break event and want to connect with other Taylor Swift fans, check out the student group Swifties at the University of Minnesota.
Today is Arbor Day. It's the holiday where we celebrate planting trees, and there's a free way for university students to get involved. The Minnesota Landscape Arboretum in Chaska is hosting events from now until 6 p.m. UMN students get in free with a U-card. Get to know the hundreds of different trees the ARB has on the property throughout the day. The event will go on rain or shine. Some of the events are indoors, and you can check out the trees from the comfort of your car on the Arboretum's 3-mile drive. That's all for today's University Report. I'm Grace Henry.
And I'm Pooja Singh. Thanks for joining us and have a great weekend.